I'm Lexi, and I'm in the US. So I was just randomly browsing Amazon the other day, and it's quite possible I've just been living under a rock, but I didn't realize that Amazon had its own branded snacks. They seem to run with two different brand names, and they might be in transition from one to the other, either Happy Belly or Amazon Fresh. But I did some searching and I picked out some things to try to see how it compared to the national brands. A lot of the things that they produce are like single ingredient things, canned corn, canned peas, a container of pepper. I didn't get stuff like that because peaches are peaches, right? But I did find some fun things to try. And the first thing we're going to start with is chicken noodle soup. I know it's not exactly a snack, but how comforting is just a yummy traditional can of chicken noodle soup. Just like the national brands, you mix 1 can of soup with 1 can of water. So I did that and I heated it up, and now it's ready to try. Not bad. I want to say that Campbell's brand has little carrots in it, and this one doesn't. I also want to say Campbell's brand has more noodles, but that might just be a factor of me buying double noodle. I'm not certain. But it tastes pretty good. Not overly salty. Nice chickeny flavor. I like the texture of the noodles. This is pretty good. I'll give it a 7. Let's put the lid back on this because otherwise I am going to manage to spill it or put something in it by accident. Okay. Let's go with our other savory thing, potato chips. Now they did have a couple of flavors, but I always feel like the way to really tell a good chip is just by their good old plain classic salted. They smell like Lay's. They look a lot like Lay's. They're not as big, but that might be a factor of shipping. Yeah. These are exactly like Lay's chips. Maybe a hint less salty, but I don't think so. They're probably manufactured by the same place. Distributed by Amazon. It doesn't say who they're made by. At least not that I'm seeing without having to scour the whole bag, and I don't want to do that right now. I have to put these down. Because Lay's salted chips are probably my favorite potato chip, and I would just keep eating. I feel like a drink next. Strawberry drink mix. These are really common in America. At least they are now. Like 15 years ago they weren't, but then they kind of took the world by storm, or the country at least, and they're everywhere in all kinds of flavors, and they're not bad. You just take a standard size bottle of water, dump one in. That can go in there. That can be garbage. Give it a shake. Tastes like strawberry candy, more so than natural strawberry. But there is a tartness to it that I really like. Not like a strawberry lemonade, just a tart strawberry. I don't drink a lot of these flavored drink packets, but this is probably one of the better ones. I think I'll give it a 7. And then I've got one more savory thing, and that's just some barbecue sauce. We can always go through barbecue sauce around here, especially if I'm making that Hunter's chicken. I'll link that video down below. So I figured I'd try what their barbecue sauce was like. And let's put it on a chip. We have them. We might as well use them, right? And don't spill everywhere. There. It smells smoky. Okay. That tastes a lot like a smokier version of the barbecue sauce that you get for your chicken nuggets at McDonald's. And I know that McDonald's barbecue sauce isn't necessarily the highest quality, but there's definitely nostalgic value to it. So I really like this, and I cannot wait to make Hunter's chicken with it. I'm going to give that an 8. That's really good. Close these back up before I knock them over. Now we've got some sort of savory things. Fruit and grain cereal bars. I got the raspberry version. Now these would be similar to Nutri-Grain bars. Are another one of those things I don't buy real often. I think the last time I bought them it was for the channel. They don't have the little grainy bits, at least not as much of them, that Nutri-Grain bars do. And the layer of filling isn't nearly as thick. They taste okay. The filling is somehow smoother than the National brand and tastes a little more artificial. I think for these I would stick with the Nutri-Grain bars. They're just a little bit better. But these aren't objectionable at all. I think I'll give them a 5. And then I got some toaster pastries, aka generic Pop-Tarts. And this bag and this box has some real issues. So whether or not we actually eat these is going to depend on what we find when I open them, if the inner packaging is still sealed. I'm going to look at them real close just because that box has me a little concerned. But this is still sealed. No holes in it. Safe to go. I got the cherry ones, and frankly I just got the cherry ones because they were cheaper than the other flavors. Don't know why. This one's more in one piece. The frosting on top, I want to say that's a brighter color than Pop-Tarts. And the pastry is a little blonder. And they smell sweeter. You know what? No, we're going to break them in half. Wow. That is definitely a brighter color filling than you see in a Pop-Tart. And I think there might be more of it, too. But the flavor isn't super dynamic. The thing I dislike most about Pop-Tarts is how claggy the pastry tends to be. And this one isn't as bad in that respect. But the filling, even though there's more of it, it has less flavor. I don't think I'd buy them again. As much as I do think this pastry is better than Pop-Tarts, I think the filling flavor trumps it. That the Pop-Tarts are just better. That's kind of sad, because this pastry really is better. Let's just say a 4, maybe. If they're in the house, they'll probably get eaten. And I know I'm probably doing them a disservice by not tasting them heated up. But how many of you eat Pop-Tarts cold? I know you do it. At least once in a while. You can use your imagination. And heating a Pop-Tart up changes the flavor of the pastry more than the filling. And the pastry I'm happy with. I'm going to put this down here with the soup so it's out of the way. This too. I really need like a plate or something to keep all my bits and pieces on. Okay. Good old chocolate chip cookies. You can't go wrong with chocolate chip cookies, right? It's a classic. It's a classic for a reason. It works. This package is being a little difficult to open. Not unbearably so. Now, I'm expecting these to be kind of like Chips Ahoy. And Chips Ahoy have a really distinctive flavor to them that no other chocolate chip cookies have. So, let's see. They don't have quite that Chips Ahoy flavor that you recognize as soon as you eat one. But there's a little bit of it. Maybe like, if you were to quantify it, maybe like 50% of the Chips Ahoy-ness. We're just going to invent some words here today. But they're good. Nice dispersal of chocolate. They've held up well in the package. They're not all broken. These are a good cookie. I could see them going in my lunchbox when I was a kid. Have them with a nice glass of milk. Well, why else do you think I got a drink? Now these I'm really hopeful about. I got these hoping that they would be like the Girl Scout peanut butter sandwich cookies. Because those are my favorite Girl Scout cookies. But they're not like one of the top sellers. So there isn't a national brand copycat. So I'm stuck with only being able to get them once a year. And if these are close, that makes my day. They're quite cute. Little crosshatch pattern. They smell very peanut buttery. They're a hint less oaty than the Girl Scout ones, but they're close. Or at least close enough for all other times of the year that aren't Girl Scout cookie season. Let's try just the peanut butter. Okay. There's definitely some sugar added to the peanut butter that gives it a little bit of texture, but I like that. I can definitely see myself buying another bag of these. But I don't see myself fighting to not eat them in one sitting, the way with Girl Scout cookies. So let's give these... Okay, if the Girl Scout cookie ones that I like so much didn't exist, I'm going to give these a 7. I'm not disappointed by them. They're just not the exact cookie I was hoping they'd be. But they're very good. Have you tried any of these? Or have you tried any of the Amazon branded snacks? Let me know down below. Let's have a conversation. Is there anything in particular that you've been wondering about or you'd like to see me try? Let me know that down below too. But that's all I've got for today. So if you could give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye!